I'm Judy, the athlete, and we're here to help you better your best. The dartboard is like, I think, maybe your very, very favorite
it is.
tool that you use with golfers, archers, whoever that you're working with. What do you get out of that?
The dartboard and watching them throw darts, man, it tells me so many things about the athletes. So lots of times the people, I've never seen them perform before anything, and we watch them throw darts and we get a lot of information. I'll give you an example. Just this last week, I had one of the high school kids, and she's a really good golfer and everything. And I said, oh, have you ever thrown darts? No, she never threw darts. So I give her the darts and watch. Oh my gosh, unbelievable. This kid's an athlete. I mean, I hadn't seen her hit a golf ball yet either, but man, I couldn't believe how good she was. So first of all, it tells more what kind of athlete they are.
Like,
they're very athletic, or they're
coordination.
Yes, or some of them, they're very smart and good technique and skill. You have kind of your two different sets of athletes. And so that one right off the bat was kind of an eye-opener for me. Yeah. But the other thing, like when I have a player who comes and I haven't seen him for a while, time to check in, if I have him throw darts, it'll tell you like lots of the issues they're having. For example, you go ahead and throw, Judy, you just throw.
Okay.
Yeah, you're the athlete, you throw. Okay, so, I'm watching those, and there's, first thing is there much difference between the first, the second, and the third? Because they might be having a little trouble getting started when they first go out and compete, then the first one isn't quite so good.
I was just worried about whether I was going to be as good as that golfer.
Well, you were consistent.
Okay.
Yeah, and your miss was right, so I'm thinking, probably Mrs. Right a little bit in archery, but at any rate, then, if the second one, is maybe their nemesis one. I mean, I'm going to watch more than 3 darts, but if the second one is, they get going fine, there's a little lull in the middle, and then they come in charging at the end. More often than not, this one from as many times we've done, it's the third one, especially if they throw the first two good. And then how well do they do on that last one? Like the player I had in this week, when just naturally everyone got better. It was really interesting to watch. Once again, it tells me pretty good athlete, and the more you kind of put in front of her, the better she does. So, it tells us so much. You do it with, what do you get out of it?
Well, I get very similar things out of it. Consistency. The biggest first one, right, is, are they an athlete? You get a sense of what your language is going to be with them if they're not an athlete and they don't have past experience in some other sport, like throwing or something like that. But yeah, I get a lot of finish. That's the one, I think, to me, that I'm able to coach the best with darts.
Yeah, that's very true. So lots of times, as soon as we let go of that dart, it's what happens afterwards, and that's true in any of the sports, whether it's shooting or hitting or whatever. And for them to realize what it takes to stay in there to the end, and then it shows them immediately what the effect is. And if they're going down here, so is the dart, and if, it will do all the teaching for you. So you could throw again, Judy. We do finish, and then we also do breathe finish. Just get your air out, fire. Wow. Those are really good. And when we can get that focus in there, mostly what we're doing, Judy, I think, is we're just helping them keep their mind in it all the way to the end of their motion.
But I see. So when I do it, right, because I coach it, but then when I do it, it's a whole different thing, like you start to see what goes through your head and stuff. And just then when I was doing it, I was like, okay, focus on the finish. And then what is the finish? What does my finish look like? I mean, I really went down that path of, where is my finish? What do I want my finish to look like? What does that mean to stay in the shot? And that's a lot.
A little too much. All we really like is freeze, so that if they could go out, and perform in a tournament, whatever it happens to be, a competition of any kind, and all they had to do is get their air out and hold their finish, wherever it is, I don't care, just get there, at least their mind was in a really good place, and their subconscious did everything in the middle, which most of the time, even if they're not as high level, it'll do it better than if they are trying to think their way
All right,
through
let me do
every
it again.
step. Okay.
I tell my athletes all the time, stop thinking.
So feel, Judy. That's where we're going. Breathe, feel. Oh, it was on it.
That was in the middle.
It was on it.
That was totally in the middle. I
Yeah.
should just stop now, right? Because that was it.
That's it.
I'm good. There's no more to this.
And that is a good point, actually, Judy, because for us, like when we hit a 10, I always tell them, if you hit a shot and it's a 10, do something different, change something about it, you know, because you don't ever have to do it in performance.
That's right.
So,
So
Buy a
go get a
dartboard.
go get a dartboard and better your best.